Hi guys, welcome back to BARROVAIN MADE. Today in this little Christmas calendar series that we are doing, we are going to be making a wine display holder. And this isn't going to be some like normal oak furniture land wine display cabinet. This isn't going to be a cabinet, this is going to be display your best bottle of wine or your best whiskey or anything like that. And well, we're going to be using just 2 bits of wood. This is some beautiful red oak. You've seen this red oak on the channel before. It is a really nice looking red oak. So we're going to have the bottom display like that. We're going to have this coming in at an angle like this. And we're going to have a hole through there that you can stick the neck of the wine bottle in. And if you can imagine, it's going to be like a Z. I mean, you would have already seen it in the thumbnail. It's a really simple, basic, easy thing to make. And it comes out looking really nice. So this is a perfect gift to make for your loved ones on Christmas. It's a little one-day build, so I recommend you doing it for friends and family that like a little drink. So I'm gonna quit talking. We'll get into the build and I'll show you how to do it all. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set this. Well, I would do this on the table saw, but I appreciate the fact that not a lot of people have a wide workshop and stuff like that. And since this is such a basic project to do, I'm just going to show you that, you know, a simple chop saw will suffice. There's not a lot of cutting and stuff we need to do. The one thing I am going to do though is that these 2 fences aren't parallel with each other. So I never use this chop saw to do any accurate cutting, but we'll take the difference up and we're going to put that bit of wood in there just so we can hopefully get a more straight accurate line. But this isn't precision we need to do. This is just for the little lean that we're going to have. So we'll go in, line it all up, and we'll make our cut. Now this isn't important, but I just want to check to see if it's somewhat square. Yeah, it's square. So using that bit of wood there to take the difference out between the 2 fences has done the trick. But now we've got this so it can set. Well, if you can imagine with the bottom of our display thing, this can now be set at a 45-degree angle like that, which is good. We're not going to do the other side there. I have done the other side in the past, but I think it'll look better, to be honest, if we just have it nice and squared off like that. And what we're going to do now is we're going to drill this hole that goes in here for the bottleneck. Now, usually in the past, I've tried to make the effort of lining it up like that, getting the hole at a 45-degree angle, but you have to make the hole oversized anyway because you have different size bottlenecks to stick to it. So I figured we'll just go straight down with it, and it's gonna still hold it anyway. But I just want to do a little bit of experiment with this one. If you want to go in at a 45-degree angle, do so. Just make sure it's the same angle as this so it comes out straight, and you can make it the perfect size for a wine bottleneck. But I want this to be able to hold a wine bottleneck, whiskey bottleneck, whatever bottleneck you want. So I'm gonna leave this hole going straight down. So let's go and drill that hole. And yes, I finally did the thing of replacing the knackered old vice jars that are in this. I put some nice oak vice jars in. So, very, very nice. Right, how far are we going to want this to sit? How tall do we want our bottleneck? So we sort of want it right where that knot is there. Roughly around about here. Actually, we'll go about here, shall we? Yeah, we'll do that. So, like I say, this isn't a precision thing we need to do. It's a very easy, a basic project. Let me just go and get my spade bit. Using a spade bit because they create a really nice clean hole when used properly. Put it in our drill. When you are using a spade bit though, as you'll see, there's a little step down. Actually, let me take it back out. They usually have this so you can use it for an impact and stuff. But if you have it gripped on here, because there's so much torque that's generated through this, the chuck seems to slip. So if you have it on here where it's, you know, a hex head, it doesn't slip. So make sure you got it gripped on there, just like that. So what we're going to do now is find the center, because even though this isn't a precision thing, we still want it to, you know, look good. So how wide is this? This is about 2 inches in diameter. Let me tilt that so it's actually 2 inches, and we can just mark our line there, put a straight edge down it. So anywhere along that line we can make the hole, and we're going straight down with this one. We'll have the hole roughly about here. Let's start drilling and try keep this as straight as possible. And you can tell when you're drilling this straight because, let me go over here so you can get this light a bit more. If you see, because these spade bits, you have little teeth here. If you see one side of it starts cutting instead of the other side, then you know to adjust and go like that to straighten it up. And then you can follow it through. So we'll see how this hole goes. Right, you can see there it's starting to mark over here, so we know we need to tilt back slightly this way. Right, we're starting to get quite a bit of chatter there, so I'm going to try to slow this down a bit. Spade bit's hot. Does this need sharpening? That feels plenty sharp. Just try change the pressure. And to avoid blowout on the back, what you can do, flip this over. You already have a hole there from this part of the spade bit going in, so line that back up in the hole. Same thing. Oh, it's starting to wander there a bit, but we broke through on that side. Flip it back over. So he's basically scored the circle around on the other side, so we're not really going to get any blowout. Although it did wander a bit back there because of this hole only being like paper thin now. So it is a little bit ruined on the back. There we go. Popped it out. Let's have a look at the back, see how clean the hole is. Yeah, because it wandered, it chipped the side here a little bit. But no bother, we can clean it up. But now you can see the basic shape of this. This is this is all basically done now. All we got to do is sand and attach all these like this. So let's get onto sanding. Right guys, so a little bit awkward, but I've already went ahead and I've glued this down and I put a screw in the back. Real simple. What I did is I just put a dot of wood glue, dot of super glue, dot of wood glue, dot of super glue, measured it out in the middle, pressed it down, so that was seated in there. Then I went through at the back and I put a screw in the back, so this is like nice and sturdy now. One mess up I made is, as you can tell, this side here, it's so beautiful with the wood grain, and this side is a little bit more dull. There isn't really much going on. I was meant to glue this on the other way around so you'd see all this pretty figure, but I was a dumb person and I rushed it, and it still looks nice, but it could have looked so much nicer. I mean, look at the grain and the pattern on that wood there compared to this side. So that's unfortunate, but I can't go back now. I can't take this apart because the wood would rip out, and I already have a big ugly screw in the back there with the direction going the wrong way. So we're just going to have to live with it, unfortunately. You know, mistakes happen. It just shows you, you know, take your time with these things. Cross your I's and dot your T's. But yeah, I've marked out here where I'm going to do my touch mark. I've just done a little, very light scraping with a pencil, basically just so after I've done that I can, you know, rub away the pencil marks. But let's get the touch mark and let's stamp it. I don't know if you guys have a touch mark, but worth getting one really. Trying to line this up. Kind of hard to see the pencil. There we go. Let that burn into the wood. Want to hold it on long enough to get the mark, not too long that we create a char. And that is just about perfect. So let me put the hot touch mark back down. Stay. There we go. That's nice and good now. A little sand over the top, just to make it pop even more. Brilliant. Now we're going to drench this in oil. So let me get a rag. Got me rag ready. Just drown it. Hopefully this still looks pretty, even though I've put the wood on the wrong way around. Might have used a little bit too much oil actually. This is very saturated. Extra protection. It's kind of awkward to oil in here actually, especially in this little crack down here. Squeeze it all in there. There we go. Get it all nice and saturated. If you guys are wondering why there's no voiceover and stuff like that, by the way, is I'm struggling to get 25 videos done. So I figured to cut out the edit, like, you know, to save time on the editing process, I can just talk through the videos in person like this and, you know, just splice everything together rather than sitting there, voiceovers, doing stuff like that. Hope you guys can understand that, yeah, making 25 videos in 25 days is really, really hard to do. So, especially as well, coming up with 25 products that are easy to make at home for for people to make the loved ones on Christmas is also very hard. So, yeah, some of these things that are up and coming might be a bit like, whoa, what's that got to do with Christmas, blah, blah, blah. But I'm running out of project ideas. So I hope you guys can appreciate that. Let's do the bottom now. Let's see how nice the bottom looks compared to the top. Oh, I'm so annoyed at myself that I messed that up. Oh, God, it's so annoying. Because this was a really nice bit of wood as well that I was saving for something. And I went ahead and messed it up. And I probably could have tried moving it back around, you know, being careful. I probably could have even cut this off and remade this. But, you know, the risk for me is too high. But yeah, that's really nice. As you can see, and if you flip over to the other side. The other side is really nice as well. It's just a bit basic. Right. We'll let that soak in. We'll come back. We'll buff off the excess. And I'll show you what it's like with a bottle of wine in it. I'm not really a big drinker. Well, when I say big drinker, I don't drink at all. So I'll have to borrow one of my mother's wines if she's got any in. If not, I'll have to run to the shop and go buy her a bottle of wine just so I can record this next part. But yeah. Anyway, I'll carry on buffing this and I'll show you what it looks like with a bottle of wine in it. Easy project to make. Recommend you do it.